ahí adelante, no aquí atrás.
Right here.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
I'm sorry, I forgot your instructions. When they finish, chamber groups, do
Hello.
they walk to chairs or onto stage or backstage?
Give me 1 second.
need my ears anyway. Any reason we can't start at 3:30? Any reason we can't start
I
at
don't
3:30?
think so. But I was keeping like Flash Travelers and I see stuff.
Wait. Yeah. Alright, that's the match.
The College of Design, Art, and Performance welcomes you to the USF Concert Hall. Please silence your recording devices. Recording on them is prohibited. If you leave at any time, please wait for assistance back to your seat. In the unlikely event of an emergency, exits are indicated throughout the venue. Take a moment, say hi to your neighbor, and locate the exit at this time. This performance may contain atmospheric and lighting special effects. Please refer to the signage indicated in the lobby. Thank you for joining us at the USF College of Design, Art, and Performance.
Good afternoon. I'm so excited to see you all here today. Thank you for joining us. We've made it to Friday. That is a very exciting thing. It has been a heck of a week, and we have a great show to put on for you. So we are going to start, which was not my plan, but it's very exciting. So the students were able to pick one of 3 electives this week. They either chose Intro to Jazz and Improv. They chose Intro to Chamber Music, and then they chose one called Musician's Toolkit, which was like a how to practice, how to goal set, how to audition, leadership skills. That one was packed full. But we're going to hear from 2 from our electives this afternoon. We're going to start with our jazz, Intro to Jazz elective, run by Anthony Garcia.
name's Anthony Garcia. I am the graduate assistant for the trombone studio here at USF and also the graduate assistant for the jazz department here. So I got approached a little while ago to do an improv course, and so I was like, all right, cool, we'll do some improv. And as you can see, it sort of turned into a jazz band because after a couple of days, the kids were like, are we gonna play this on the concert? And I didn't have the heart to say no, so I figured out how to make it out of the concert. So here we are. Give them a nice round of applause. Something that you guys ought to know about what happened is the first day I had no idea what was going to go on, what kids I was going to have. We have some people here who've never played jazz. We have instruments that usually aren't in jazz, like flutes and clarinets and other instruments. So that first day, I taught them everything by ear because I didn't know what songs I wanted to play. I got there, I taught them everything by ear, and then the next day, that night I'd print out everything, and the next day I'd have it for them. And so then they would have that music to practice, and then I decided, why don't we keep doing this? So everything you're hearing today, they originally learned by ear, right? And then afterwards, I would type it out for them to remember it. Because a lot of jazz, originally you did that way. You learned it by ear, and that's how you learn how to play your instrument, that's how you learn how to play jazz. So these kids were very successful at that. They learned all this, they learned pentatonic scales all by ear, they learned these tunes by ear, and they all improvised at one point in this class, at least twice, right? So that was a really big focus. Everybody had to do it. So what you just heard is called Second Line, sometimes also known as Joe Avery's Blues. And it comes from New Orleans. It's a traditional song. In New Orleans, people will have a parade for just about everything, and the first line goes through. Those are the people that were supposed to be at the parade, and then all the people that kind of joined the parade somewhere along the way, that's called the second line, and those people like to party. So that song is supposed to be reminiscent, so that what you heard at the beginning, those trumpet calls, that's everyone, getting together to party, like, hey, we're about to party, hey, everybody come in, so that's what we're saying, hey, we're trying to invite you all in to this party. I'm going to recognize some of the soloists that we just heard. We had Liam. Liam, could you stand up over there? Everyone that's solo, please stand up. So we had Liam on the trumpet. We had Leighton on the clarinet. We had Aiden on the tenor saxophone. We had Jackson on the trumpet. Addie on the alto saxophone. And Preston on the tuba. The next song you're about to hear is about a part of town in New Orleans called the Treme, which is a real happening place where all the artists and musicians like to hang out, real young person crowds. So this is called the Treme song. on the trombone, Kendall on the clarinet, Zach on the French horn, Christopher on the clarinet, Jason on the trumpet, and Anthony playing the xylophone. I'm going to turn it over to Miss Didon over here, and she's going to guide us through the next part of the concert.
Chamber groups. I feel very passionately about chamber music in middle school because that's when you really learn how to be musical and how to play without a conductor. So these students, they started together at the beginning of the week. They were led by Mr. Didon over there all week, and then by the end, they were completely rehearsing on their own, learning on their own, rehearsing and playing and deciding musical decisions on their own. And we've got a couple that are going to perform for you today. So as they're setting up, we'll get them out here for you.
The big performance I would say that's when why don't you turn them on? With what music?
You're doing exactly what you need to do, and you can get up and head on stage. While they are moving and shifting, I'm going to do a couple of thank yous. First of all, thank you from the bottom of my heart to you, parents, grandparents, guardians, aunts, uncles, anybody out there that has been driving to and from USF. I know this is in a tricky location and not fun to get to after work, so thank you so much for taking the time and caring about music education and doing that for your students. I want to thank the students. I know that they're moving a lot, but it has been a joy to work with them. I did teach middle school for 6 years before I moved into the university setting, so I love being around middle school and young musicians like this, and they have just been a joy to work with. I could not have done this week without my USF counselors, and I know they're moving around a lot, but I want to give them a huge shout out. You know, here at USF, yes, please. Here at USF, we go through batches, of course, of students. We have fantastic students that grow with us, and then they become seniors, and they leave us. And we never like it when they do that, and then we kind of have to regrow a new group of students, and that's what we're kind of doing right now. We just lost a pretty large class of music education students, and oh my goodness, I mean, these students have been just fantastic. I asked them to do something. If they haven't already done it, they jump to do it. They're here voluntarily at 8:15, 7:45 in the morning, and they're here until 6 p.m. Working with your students. So I just want to name them. We have Patrick Ramsey, Kaylee Lewis, Christian Torado, Quentin Gagan, Colin DePiro, and Gabby Setta. Thank you guys so much. We also, percussion is its whole own, if you have a percussionist at home, you understand it's a whole thing that I, as a horn player, do not understand. So we had 2 percussion coordinators working this camp as well, and literally, I mean, one is back there. Ben, raise your hand. I literally could not have done anything without them either. So we have Ben Anderson and Alexa Rojas, and so thank you to them for all their hard work. The next group you are going to hear is the Green Band, and this consists of rising 7th all the way to rising 9th graders, and they're conducted by, I had such fun picking, or asking for conductors this year. I came from Hillsborough County, born and raised, went to LSU for my undergrad, but then came back to teach. So these people that you're going to see conduct are not only, you know, my colleagues, but they're my friends as well. So the first one you're going to see is Ryan Herring. He is a middle school band director in Hillsborough County down in South Tampa at Coleman Middle School. And he will be conducting the Green Band. He has a really fun program for you, so give it up for the USF Summer Middle School Band Camp Green Band.
Good afternoon. My name is Mr. Herring. I'm the band director currently at Coleman Middle School in South Tampa. It's been an honor to be here this past week teaching your guys' students and being a part of the USF band camp. Now, that first tune you heard was called The Big Wappa, and it's actually all about Tampa. I bet you didn't know we had that nickname. Tampa is actually nicknamed The Big Wappa. And it's a really fun story. If your students in the Green Band, ask them how that name came about. Now, if you never thought about it before, putting together a group of approximately 30 students and saying, hey, we're going to do a concert in 5 days is really scary, right? And these guys took that challenge and ran with it. It's been so fun teaching them this past week. We actually took a vote a couple days ago and said, do we want to make it a little bit harder and add another song? And that's a song we're about to play now. We're about to do Against the Storm. Now, to make this song successful, I actually need a little bit of help from you guys, right? To do this, we need both hands free. All right. Now, Against the Storm is all about something that you've heard of and dealt with in Florida. You've watched a cloud come towards you and you're like, yeah, should have brought an umbrella, right? You've had that moment before, and the first thing you hear is that pitter-patter breaking from the snap of yours. You just have to go around there. As it gets closer, the sound kind of changes. You hear it on the roof. Getting louder and louder. Can you guys join us? On your last one. Yes. And keep going for a second. Some of the fun things we've been able to do this week. If you have student green, you might have heard some of these silly things that we've done. We've gone through, and each of these students has been in a goose gang. Now, what that means is they're just each in a different group. Some people are silly geese, some people are yeehaw geese, the goose with the cowboy hat, and some people are a fancy goose, a goose with a top hat, right? We had some different class-wide competitions, see who could play something the best, count the best. We kind of kept track of what group was doing the best, and I believe, if we get a big round of applause here, our winners were the fancy geese. Can we get a big round of applause for the fancy geese? Now, something else that we did throughout the week is we had Golden Stand recipients. And you might have heard of this from some of your students that may have won, or maybe they were angry they did not win it. And we had some students at the end of every rehearsal were awarded with a Golden Stand. That means they got to sit at the gold music stand through the rest of the next rehearsal. That meant they came with their music ready to play, they were focused and attentive through, believe it or not, a full hour and a half rehearsal. Right? We did 2 hour and a half rehearsal blocks for these guys. They focused all the way through, they did a ton of good work. Can you please stand up if you received the Golden Stand at any point during this past week? Big round of applause for the Golden Stand. Our next song is called Taking It All In. This one is literally all about breathing, taking in huge breaths of air so we can play our wind instruments. Here's Taking It All In. I know this auditorium is beautiful. I promised Miss Didon I'd only let this last 60 seconds. Students, close your binders, close your folders, stop moving. Push your stand all the way down. Now, you have 60 seconds. If you want to stand up, if you want to move a little bit and snap that great photo of your kid on this auditorium stage, here's your 60 seconds to do so. 45 seconds. Thirty seconds. You can say my cheeks are hurting now. I think that's everything. Everyone, one more giant round of applause for this band. Thank you guys so much. And back to our master of ceremonies, Misty.
Can we give it up for Mr. Herring, please? All right, Green Band, you're going to follow your counselors. Stage left, please. There we go. Watch the instruments. Watch the instruments. There we go. Gold Band. Gold Band, please rise. Love it. And we're going to come stage right. So you're going to go... Yep, you're going to follow Mr. Christian. There we go. Beautiful. All right, we're going to do a quick set change, and then we'll be right back with our last band.
Probably why we had a bus. So I can't imagine anything in the court. That's pretty bad. Still, I stand by what I said. There you do. What do I want to happen? Oh, definitely. I didn't go in the boat where I didn't want to, yeah. But it looks really cool. Like you're on like a whole like a big ass field of like shit. Like it looks awesome. And they play the soundtrack. Oh. Yeah. Yeah, fantastic. No, I didn't go in any of the restaurants. They had a bunch of like really good food in those little like tiny spots, you know, that they put on. So I ended up eating at a bunch of those and actually got some of the restaurants. I'm assuming they'll be cool as heck though, and very inconvenient. Cool. Is someone home or do they have over? Like, is that a thing you guys do? Oh, nice. Yeah, both of the, I guess there's lots of big roller coasters. The Cargo Cruiser is like a little bit of a big one. It was really good. And then the Caterpillar Dragon was really fun. And then the werewolf one was pretty good. I think it's literally to catch stuff flying up here. Yeah, I think it's for liability and then they just added it all the way to like make it look cool and different. But it's definitely because like you go over and around like the walking area a lot. So you go spinning, Great. No, I didn't get to go on that one. It looks cute though. Definitely.
Testing. Awesome. Thank you. All right. So our final performance of the evening, afternoon-ish, is going to be the USF Middle School Band Gold Band. And this one is directed by Kelly Chisholm. Ms. Chisholm is the director at Burns Middle School here in Hillsborough County. And we have an extra special connection with her because her daughter was the drum major of the Heart of Thunder Band for many years here. So we love her here at USF. And so we're going to come finish out with the USF Gold Band. Give it up for the Gold Band.
Like 42.
not a big talker. I think you're here to listen to music, so I'd rather have them play it for you. But just a couple things I want to say before we finish with our last piece. To walk into a band and say, here, pick music, and then you walk in and you're like, it's going to work, it's not going to work, is a little intimidating. But these are probably some of the most amazing students I've ever worked with in my entire life. So if you are a parent, a friend, a teacher, of somebody, of any students in this room tonight, please give yourself a big round of applause. I've been doing this for a million years, 20 plus years, and this is always so much fun. And I cannot thank Dr. McCutcheon, the director of bands here at USF, Ms. Devin Dino, for inviting me to come here. I cannot thank you parents enough for supporting music education and supporting these kids and what they do. Because regardless of whatever happens in their life, they will always have music to turn to them as a very positive, wonderful experience in their life. And students, please give your parents a round of applause. Please. Yeah, they brought you here, you better come on. So the last piece, please tell people about this, because USF is one of the rare universities that does a lot with middle schools. They do one in the fall and May called Symphonic Celebration. In the spring. They do this summer camp. A lot of universities don't offer anything for middle schools, and it's so crucial. So please spread the word on how amazing USF is. I'm not as funny and fun as Mr. Herring is, but yeah. We're gonna play our last piece, this fun one called Busy Dances, because we love dances and we have fun. At the end, I will give you your 30 seconds to a minute to take their picture, because I have to take my selfie with them too, because I have to take a picture with them too. But we're gonna conclude this evening's performance with you with a piece entitled Byzantine Dances. They had put up with me for 5 days, and I tell them I'm so sorry. So they go home and say, Mom, Dad, I had this little nut job from a teacher this week. Dino. See, they're not laughing at me. Before they feel like I was nuts. Now they're like, oh yeah, you're actually so much fun. Okay.
this week, but we are done. And B, that they have all of their materials, their instrument, their folder, their mouthpieces, their stands if they brought them, water bottles, anything like that. Make sure you do a sweep. They will meet you out in the lobby. They are going to come from around the back. So students, if Green Band, if you're still back there, can you guys make your way this way, please? And we'll get you back here first to get your instruments. And then we will release the parents. Thank you guys so much for a wonderful week, and we'll see you next year.
I lost the cabin before. That's what I was about to be like, don't say anything to me. You put a styrofoam cup on top of a laptop. I know, but it looks great. You sneeze on like 2 hard, it'll break apart. You rip a hole in a styrofoam cup. You've never done that. You like, squeeze it too hard, you put your thumb through it. You gotta match together. them, but honestly, I don't think it like lasts in as if like the initial power source like turned them on, and now a bunch of them are like yeah, but there's some that are like fully dead that didn't flash, and then there was like 3 or 4 of them that like flashed for a second. Yeah, I'm trying my best, you know? Oh, trust me, I'm trying, people are trying to add more events. Oh, Jesus. You have 1, 2, 3, 4? 4 cleaning lights above the audience, and then everything else is above the stage. Oh boy. Man, we're looking stellar in here. It's already open for business. Oh, look at that. It's like I can use my eyes and actually see stuff. No, the right side doesn't work. No, it freaked out and died.